time and lunchtime mean the world to most of us. At Plaza Diner Restaurant, we understand just what that means. Whether it's breakfast, brunch, or lunch, be sure to stop in on the second floor of the downtown plaza at the new family restaurant, Plaza Diner, for the best in local cuisines and meals, especially for the kids. Plaza Diner Restaurant. Good food, good service, great price.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Matters. This morning we have made our way to the fine foods for Murray Sharp. It's called Murray Sharp Fine Foods. This morning our guest is none other than Mrs. Sharp. Mrs. Sharp, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning too.
Mrs. Sharp, hopefully, first we have to say thank you for allowing us to learn a little bit more about you today. I'm sure that your life is busy, your schedule is busy. So it is definitely our privilege to be here to learn a little bit about you. The last time we saw you on the news, you were distributing hot sauce to Taiwan. I think that was the last time I saw you.
It could be.
It could be. And somewhere in around then you were inducted into the New York Hot Sauce Hall of Fame. So we say congratulations. But besides your big achievement, we'd like to know how you got from where you came from to where you are now. Where are you from in Belize? Where were you born?
I was born in Belize City. I lived in Belize City for a short period of time. I think I actually was in Belize City until I was like about 4 or 5.
Okay.
And then my mom and my dad separated. My dad moved to Dangriga with his business because he had a big store. And so he moved to Dangriga with his business, and my mom had to go back home where she came from, San Pedro and Burgess Key. So I went back with my mother. So I was in San Pedro until like it was about like 8, up to about 8 years. Until I was 8 years old, I was out there with my mom. I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers.
Where do you place in which order are you? The youngest, the middle?
More or less like about the middle.
You're in the middle?
Yes.
What was it like when that separation happened for you?
It was actually devastating for all of us because we were used to a certain lifestyle, and my mom had to go back to San Pedro where she was her family had to take her in. So my uncles built her a house, a touch house. So here we were moving from a wooden building and good living, and we had to go back to live in a little touch house and not have the comforts of life that we were used to. So I could remember my brother saying when night would come in, "Mom, I can't see. My mom said, "How come you can't see? The lamp is little." But he's waiting for the electricity to come on. But he was small, so he could never understand, right? But he was saying, I can't see. And the lamps were lit. But, we had to go back where my sisters had to work to help my mom to make a living because she wasn't getting any sort of maintenance from my dad. So they had to wash, and they were not accustomed to wash, so their hands would peel, and they would be crying, and so you could imagine all that, what it did to my poor mother, because, she felt for her children, but she couldn't do any better, right? So we had a rough time. We had to adjust our lives all over. And being little, we couldn't understand what was going on. I started going to school out at San Pedro, and Senior York was my teacher out there. And actually, she was the one, I think, after the second year of having me in school, she wrote my dad a letter.
Did she?
Yes. And she told him that, that it was a shame that he had a daughter that had potential, and she had to be in a school out at San Pedro where it was a handicapped sort of school because it was all Spanish, very little English. And here was I with English and, and having, so I didn't have a problem with the English, but my other companions had because they were all Spanish. So because of Spanish English, you know, it was keeping us back in school. And she wrote my dad and said, you know, you have to do something about her. That was when my dad said, well, they have to come and live with me.
All of you?
No, just myself and my younger brother. So
okay. 2
of us came to my dad, and at that time I was like about 8 years old when I came to Dangriga.
What was, I would imagine, even though you were coming to a better school, that still, and probably a better life, that still put some strain on you. I mean, you'll be separated from your mom, you'll be separated from your other siblings. What was that transition like? Of
course it was. It was very, very difficult because, to be honest with you, from that age, I was almost like my mom's breadwinner because everybody would come and borrow Marie to go sell. I used to go, my aunts, my uncles, I borrow Marie, I'd go sell fish or go sell bread or go sell, you know. But so I always was out there selling for, and every time you sold at $1, they gave you 1 cent. So everything I could make, you know, I used to take home to my mom. And, you know, my brother, same brother that came with me to Dangriga, he was, we used to go fish in the mornings early so we could bring fish home for my mom to have something to feed us with. And after school, we used to borrow my uncle's dory, you know, those long dories. And we used to borrow the dory and we'd go into the cocal and fill it up with coconut husk and bring it back to the town and sell it for 5 cents for a bag of husks. So the people used to use it to cook with.
Yes.
They used to bake with it. They used to, I mean, nobody had gas stoves. I mean, only the rich people had gas stoves. And there was very few rich people in San Pedro. It was all poor people. So we would bring back the husk and sell it. And then we'd have some money to give my mom, you know. So I was always there trying to see how I could help her and so on. So I think when I moved away and came to my dad, I had a big adjustment to make because I was coming to somebody, then a stepmother. And naturally, I don't think she was too much in favor of us being there. But she had to accept us. And I started going to school in Dangriga from I was like about 8 and a half, 9. I came to Dangriga. So I lived the rest of my life in Dangriga.
Did you go back and forth to San Pedro at any time? It was so difficult.
Yes, I would go back like once a year during the school holidays. He would send us to my mom for 2 weeks.
And so when you finished with your elementary years and your high school years, what then did Marie start doing?
Well, to be honest with you, in those days, high school was the highest we could go to unless you left the country.
Okay.
Because there was no sixth form, there was no universities in those days. I'm talking, I graduated from high school in 1958.
Wow.
In 1958. And when I graduated, unless I could travel out, I would not be able to go any higher. But when I graduated from high school, during my high school years, I did 13 subjects. I did academic and I did secretarial in 1. The last, when I went into 3rd form, I dropped the secretarial because we had to prepare for senior Cambridge. So to sit on senior Cambridge, you know, you had to pass 7 subjects. So to really give the all, we dropped the secretarial and I concentrated on the other subjects. So when I graduated, I could do either, you know. I don't think that is done again in today's days, but I came out well prepared to work in anything I wanted to do.
Did you then find a job?
Yes, I did. When I graduated, I started teaching really. I was teaching, I taught in Stan Creek. I taught in Corozal, Francis Xavier, I taught in Holy Rima
In the city?
in Belize City. Yes.
How long were you a teacher for?
For like about 6 years.
Why did you stop?
Because I got married outside the church.
Was it a Catholic institution that you were, they were all Catholic institutions that you were singing with, and you got married to a Methodist or just a regular person of no denomination?
Anglican.
An Anglican?
Yes.
And that was your punishment?
Yeah, that I married outside the church.
That was your prize?
I was living in sin because I was not married.
You were married?
Yes, but to the eyes of the church, I was not married.
How did that affect you?
It didn't. It affected me because I couldn't go to communion anymore. I could go to church, but I can't go to the sacraments because I was banned from that.
Did it then make you want to go and join the Anglican faith, or did it still keep you as a resolved Catholic?
Well, what I did was I stopped teaching, but actually, Annette, you remember, I don't know if you knew of Annette Mejia's private school. It was a very famous private school.
Where was it?
Annette Mejia's private school in Belize City.
Okay.
In Belize City. So when I stopped teaching, I started working with them, with Miss Annette and her sister. There was only 2 people, then they have their own private school, and they took me on as a teacher there. And I started working with them while I was married. And they were Anglicans. So I just didn't go back to my church. I just followed the Anglican religion after that.
And then you started having children and your life began?
I started having children. I had 2 boys in my first marriage. But that didn't work. Unfortunately, my marriage didn't work for me because I was a go-getter and I wasn't getting any help from my partner. So while I was married, I was teaching at Miss Annette Mejia. I used to go and work with the Chinese, what was the name of the Chinese? Kwan? Was it Kwan, the one by the police station that used to import?
Kwan?
No.
William Kwan?
William.
The one that brings in alcohol and that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
I would go and work for them at nights from 7 to 9, and I would do all his entries and so on and like that, custom entries. And I secretarial for him at nights.
And your children, where were they?
At home, my mother-in-law was helping me with them. So I started doing 2 jobs. And then on weekends, I would cook and sell food in the neighborhood. So that was another job. So, but I was making all this money and then,
You had no help. It's like you had 3 children.
Yes. So yes. I eventually didn't work and I came back home.
Was your former spouse from the city? Was he from Nangriga?
Belize City.
Belize City.
Belize City.
And so you came back home. When you came back home, what did you then do? Did you move
I came back home with my 2 children, 2 boys.
And you lived where?
And my dad, I came back to my father. And he said, this is not going to work. Because you're not going to come here and sit here and bring 2 more mouths for me to feed. So I had to quickly write out applications for jobs all over the place, everywhere, And I couldn't go back to teach in my Catholic school, so I had to be then other jobs. I wrote everywhere. And actually, Citrus Company picked me up. The secretary for Citrus Company came and said, they needed somebody, and I said, sure. And I came up for an interview, and I was hired by the Citrus Company of Belize. But my children were my problem because they were so used to their grandmother that in the mornings when I was leaving them, even though I got a girl to stay with them, it used to break my heart because they used to cry and cry until I disappear.
How old were they?
One was like about 2 and the other was like about 3. And I couldn't take it, so I went back to my mother-in-law and I told her, I said, would she take the children? I would send all the money that she needed to take care of them. But she opened her arms because she was broken up when I took them away. So she stayed with the kids. And then I started working down here with the citrus company. I started as a receptionist. And I worked like for about 10 years with them. I did receptionist. I worked in the accounts department. I did shipping. I did factory manager, secretary. I did all kinds of work at the citrus company. While I was at the factory manager, secretary, all my free times I would go into the lab and get in there with the boys, say, what is this? What you do with this? What you do with that? And they would show me. And I learned to use a refractometer. I learned to use a pH meter, and I learned all the different instruments in there. So that helped. I worked there until Jerry's dad actually was the one who asked me to be his secretary, because his secretary was leaving. That would put me up in the executive secretary's position. And I told him, I said, no, I don't want the job. He said, why? I said, because I do not like anybody to scream at me or shout at me.
Was he a shouter?
Yes. He was a very strict man. He was an Englishman, very strict, but everything had to be just perfect for him. All his files, all the files in the filing cabinet have to look like a book. Nothing, no hanging over tails or nothing, perfect. So I told him, I said, nobody's going to shout at me. He said, oh, you'll manage. He said, you'll be okay, you'll do. Eventually I did it. I worked for him. I became his secretary. And we had a couple of fights, but we
managed it out?
We managed it. We managed it, and I was actually very happy that I did work with him.
Why?
Because he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot. I mean, he...
What is one of the biggest things you learned from him?
I can always remember his words. He said, my mother taught me that what is worthwhile doing well. I could always remember his words, so. And again, because of that, you find that I have to see everything.
You've turned into him.
I turn into him. Now I want to see everything perfect. Don't do anything half. If you're going to do it halfway, please leave it,
When did you leave that company?
I worked for them for like about 10 years. I left when I started doing the pepper sauce.
What made you, were you married when you left?
Yes.
You were already married?
Yes, I was already married.
Mrs. Sharp?
Yes.
What made you make that decision to leave and start the pepper sauce?
Well, no, it wasn't a decision, actually. My father-in-law died. Jerry became the manager. Jerry inherited the farm. This farm is ours. He inherited the farm. Because he inherited the farm, we started coming down to the farm and doing things in our own spare time. It used to be cattle and citrus. But we got rid of the cattle because the cattle in those days was no money. You could buy a cow for 18 cents on the hoof. So, and one cow occupies so much land that I told him that is a bad investment. Get rid of them and let us plant fruits and things that we could sell with baggage and sell to the supermarkets all the different fruits. And we started working towards that idea. One of my sisters, now knowing Dr. Gordillo in Belize City, she was the one who said, why don't you plant some habanero peppers for Dr. Gordillo? So I said, oh, no problem, that is not a problem. I come down here, man, and I prepare my seeds and I plant out habanero pepper. I go down with my first pickup full of peppers to Dr. Gordillo, and he says, ay, hasi yo solo un poquito. I said, oh my God, here I am now with a pickup full of pepper, and he goes, he only
just
uses
wants
a
a little bit.
Now what am I going to do with the pepper?
You can't eat all of that.
I come back now with the pepper. Jerry says, now what you want to do with it? Well, I got some plastic barrels that I had, sterilized them out and washed them out, and I started to grind pepper. with my little home blender.
Okay.
Putting it and putting salt and grind and putting it and going through blenders because I was asking the blenders to do what they weren't made to do. So I went through several blenders until I got through my pepper crop. Then he goes, now the garage is full of drums and barrels. What the hell are you going to do with that?
I was going to ask you the same thing. What are you going to do with all this pepper?
I said, I don't know, but it's not spoiling, so leave it there.
It preserved itself just so it
Yes, with the salt, yes.
Okay.
It had a lot of salt. So, one night I came home and I took out a peel of the pepper mash and I started playing around with peppers. I made a carrot-based pepper. I made one from papaya. I made one from different pepper sauces, and I made like about 6 or 8 different ones. And actually, I just gave them away to friends, whoever come to the house. Take one bottle, you know.
You get rid of this pepper?
Yes. So actually, it was one of my friends who said to me, say, "Girl, I noticed that everybody come back to ask for the carrot one, the carrot-based one.
You don't have no more the carrot one?
Yeah, that was the one that everybody liked, the carrots. One of them said, why don't you sell this? He said, this is good. This is going to sell on the market. This is better than anything we have out there. I said, you think so, girl? He said, yes, man, this one sell. I thought about it. I said, I went out and I bought myself 3 stoves, the ones that you put on a counter, 4 burners, and I bought 3 pots. And at night I would cook pepper, and during the day I'd have a girl come in and fill with a little measure cup and funnel. And I started producing the pepper sauce. And I started putting it out now on the veranda, right? I got my bottles through the Mennonites. I got my, they were dealing with Guatemala, so they were bringing bottles for me, but small amounts, you know, on 25 cases or so. I did that like for about 3 years, working out in my kitchen. I still have my job, you know. I not let go my job.
You were doing 2 things?
Yes. I was doing this at night, and I was working for Citrus Company during the day.
And you still had time? Oh, but your boys were away. Did you have any other children?
Yes, I had all of Jerry's children. I inherited all of his 6.
You inherited 6 children?
Yes.
You have 2 jobs?
Yes, 6. And I took back my 2 boys.
Because now you're stable?
Yes.
So there's 8 children in the house, and you're working 16 hours a day?
Yes.
On that note, we're going to take a break and be back.
Of all the colors in the world, orange is perhaps the most exciting, distinctive, and vibrant color there is. Just like the Orange Gallery. But what makes the Orange Gallery outstanding is what's inside. A huge collection of breathtaking wood carvings and a spectacular display of home decor accessories and magnificent gift items. Browse a fabulous selection of furniture, from chairs to entertainment centers. And wait till you see the Orange Gallery's breathtaking selection of jewelry for every occasion and every person, from casual to dressy bracelets and earrings to great items for men, including a spectacular choice of handmade knives. Then, when you've shopped till you're ready to drop in to the Orange Gallery's fabulous restaurant and recharge for the rest of your orange expedition. The Orange Gallery. Beautiful, unique, exquisite.
Have an idea for the building of a structure and not sure exactly what you want or how to go about achieving it? Then worry no more. Let the pros at Remen Associates get it done for you. At Remen Associates, we have trained professionals that can assist you in the designing, engineering, and construction of the building of your choice. At Remen Associates, we bring your ideas to life. Call Remen Associates at 615-6200 or visit them at 3/4 miles on the Iguana Creek Road in the Spanish Lookout. Everybody knows that Christmas is a time for shopping and gift giving. At the dollar store, we have just the gift for you. Our gift to each of you is a second toy free. So if you buy a doll, you can get a second doll free or a toy for the same value. Hurry, as this deal you don't want to miss. We have a huge variety of incredible toys for every child in your family. Fashionable dolls, trucks, cars, play sets, baby rattles, basketball hoops, and not to mention decoration and wrapping papers. Hurry on over to the Dollar Store and pick up your free toy today. Dollar Store is located on the second floor of Downtown Plaza, 27 Albert Street in Belize City.
Hello and welcome to A&R.
With a wide variety of household items, party supplies, and gift ideas to choose from, A&R is definitely the shopping spot of choice for you. We have loads of kitchen appliances such as freezers, washers, refrigerators, pots, pans, and other items including stationery, school bags, swimming pools, sturdy plastic chairs, and toys for boys and girls. Check out A&R at any of our many locations in San Pedro, Orange Walk, Cayo, and Belize City. At A&R, we strive to provide all your shopping needs under one roof.
When you think of top brands in perfumes, with the widest variety, you must stop in at Make Sense at booth number 15 in the Downtown Plaza. It only makes sense to shop at Make Sense.
Looking for quality and affordable fashion? The It Store, where you can shop fashion for less. We have clothing for the entire family and quality that fits your budget. The #1 store in town. Find kids, men, and women apparel for all occasions. We are located at the #1 Queen Street, Belize City. Call us at 223-1552. Remember to like us on Facebook. The It Store. Find it, love it, buy it for less.
knows that the best time is always around the table. And when it's great food, it's gotta come from the best. Quality poultry products. Taste the wheat chicken.
Welcome back to Morning Matters. We're sitting down with Miss Marie Sharp this morning. We're hearing about where she came from and how she got to where she's gotten so far. You know, it's interesting when you say to me, you eventually ended up with 8 children and working 16 hours a day. What was your motivation?
Well, I really did it because it's something that I liked, something that I,
You know, I would imagine by then you didn't have to work so hard. You had married, you had a supportive husband, you were living a decent life.
Yes.
Why did you bother to work the extra hours? I'm sure that somebody must have figured out, why is this woman still working?
Well, I had 8 children. I had 8 children, so both of us had to work. I mean, both of us were working on a salary.
But was that not enough work to mind 8 children?
Yes, it was, but still, it's not. I had somebody helping with the children. I had a maid, and she would cook and so on and like that. But we were thinking of education. We were thinking of children's future and all that and so on. So you had to work.
You absolutely had to work. When did you decide that you would go full time into this business?
I didn't do that until I knew that I could sell pepper sauce. Because to be honest with you, when I first started marketing the pepper sauce in Belize, it looked dumb. It looked really, really great. I mean, I thought I was going to fail. My first year of making pepper sauce and marketing in Belize, I did $17,000 in 1 year. 1 year. So, it was, I knew I had a good product. I had a good product, but it's just to convince the Belizeans that not everything that is made in Belize no good. We have things that good in Belize too. And I had to convince the Belizeans that, you know, I have a good product.
How did you manage to do that?
I started making pepper sauce in 81. I worked for 3 years in my kitchen. That must have been like about 84. I moved down to the factory in 86, down here, where my husband built me my first little factory, which is just that little part at the back there. In 1986, I sold like about 2 pallets to the US.
How did you get into that market? Did you go market to them or did they come looking for you?
Belizeans.
Nice.
I had a Belizean woman out of LA, and I had a Belizean man out of Chicago. And I sold a couple pallets. With that, I blew that up in the media. Marie Sharp's now in the US. And I could see the Belizeans go,
that really?
The Americans like it? They may be good, you know. Because from there I could see my local sales started to lift its head. And I see my local sales started to climb and started to climb. It wasn't until I saw that movement on the local market that I gave my resignation to Citrus Company.
You could see the light at the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, no.
So then I gave in my resignation and started doing it full time.
And then you stayed, where did you stay? Because for a long time I would imagine you thought you had plateaued, you thought that you had reached where you were going to go.
Mm-hmm.
When did you realize then that there was someplace else to go? Further to go, that you could have gotten into bigger markets like Europe and Taiwan and those places?
Well, actually, it never even dawned on me that I would have been able to go international. You know, never. I never even thought. I mean, when I started doing this, it was something that, okay, I was in a Belize market and, you know, and I was, but what opened my eyes was the Japanese, because the Japanese went out to San Pedro for vacation and they had the pepper sauce out there. And then they came here to look for me. And I was still in that little building back there. And they came and they said, pepper sauce, very good. We love pepper sauce. I said, thank you very much. He said, me take to Japan? I said, oh, please do. So it was the Japanese really that started it, because then I said, well, then maybe I have something good, you know. And the Japanese showed real interest, except that then very soon after they started to, that I can't work in that little building. It's contamination because they're doing so many products in the one building, and, you know. So then I had to go and borrow money.
Were you scared? Were you concerned?
Yes, I was concerned. Every time I have to borrow, I'm concerned. Because, you know, I said to myself, I don't want to fail or anything like that, you know. So I am very careful when I borrow, but I had to borrow because I had to then enlarge the building, and then I had to make it to a standard where I could get HACCP certified, because after that then I started asking for HACCP. And that is where it went, because the Japanese started it. Very soon, I started getting calls from people that came to Belize, from Hopkins, from everywhere. To be honest with you, most of my people that are selling for me are tourists that have come to Belize.
They looked for you, they sought you?
Yes, yes. Australia came to Hopkins and they came down here and they came and visited me, and they started selling in Australia.
Absolutely amazing.
Germany, same way.
A German man just came?
Yes.
You are blessed.
Yes, and so I started, my markets are all mostly, I do go to shows, like I went to the show in Germany, and we picked up I think Lebanon and Kuwait. And so, you know, but most of my people that sell for me are people that came to Belize and actually tried the products and loved it and went back and started selling.
When you think of top brands in perfumes, with the widest variety, you must stop in at Make Sense at booth number 15 in the Downtown Plaza. It only makes sense to shop at Make Sense. When you want refreshing and tasty, it can only be at Coral Bubbles, a perfect place to enjoy milkshakes in many flavors. Coral Bubbles, a variety of teas, hot or cold. Again, Coral Bubbles. Visit us today on the second floor in Downtown Plaza overlooking Albert Street.
Maya's Electronics is Belize's #1 electronics store, offering the widest assortment of electronic gear in home audio, car audio, and especially pro audio. That is speakers, microphones, amps, cables, and adapters for home and professional stage use, as well as musical instruments and accessories. Maya's Electronics also carries a wide assortment of computer and networking accessories, including the absolute lowest prices in USB and SD memory. And don't forget that Maya's Electronics is the source for the lowest priced TVs in Belize. Maya's Electronics is located at number 36 Queen Street in Belize City, across from the police station. And their mini branch is located at the back of the Downtown Plaza, across from Make Sense.
Of all the colors in the world, orange is perhaps the most exciting, distinctive, and vibrant color there is. Just like the Orange Gallery. But what makes the Orange Gallery outstanding is what's inside. A huge collection of breathtaking wood carvings and a spectacular display of home decor accessories and magnificent gift items. Browse a fabulous selection of furniture, from chairs to entertainment centers. And wait till you see the Orange Gallery's breathtaking selection of jewelry for every occasion and every person, from casual to dressy bracelets and earrings to great items for men, including a spectacular choice of handmade knives. Then, when you've shopped till you're ready to drop in to the Orange Gallery's fabulous restaurant and recharge for the rest of your orange expedition. The Orange Gallery. Beautiful, unique, exquisite.
Have an idea for the building of a structure and not sure exactly what you want or how to go about achieving it? Then worry no more. Let the pros at Remen Associates get it done for you. At Remen Associates, we have trained professionals that can assist you in the designing, engineering, and construction of the building of your choice. At Remen Associates, we bring your ideas to life. Call Remen Associates at 615-6200 or visit them at 3/4 miles on the Iguana Creek Road in Spanish Lookout. Everybody knows that Christmas is a time for shopping and gift giving. At the dollar store, we have just the gift for you. Our gift to each of you is a second toy free. So if you buy a doll, you can get a second doll free or a toy for the same value. Hurry, as this deal you don't want to miss. We have a huge variety of incredible toys for every child in your family. Fashionable dolls, trucks, cars, play sets, baby rattles, basketball hoops, and not to mention decoration and wrapping papers. Hurry on over to the dollar store and pick up your free toy today. Dollar store is located on the second floor of Downtown Plaza, 27 Albert Street in Belize City.
Hello and welcome to A&R.
With a wide variety of household items, party supplies, and gift ideas to choose from, A&R is definitely the shopping spot of choice for you. We have loads of kitchen appliances such as freezers, washers, refrigerators, pots, pans, and other items including stationery, school bags, swimming pools, sturdy plastic chairs, and toys for boys and girls. Check out A&R at any of our many locations in San Pedro, Orange Walk, Cayo, and Belize City. At A&R, we strive to provide all your shopping needs under one roof.
When you think of top brands in perfumes, with the widest variety, you must stop in at Make Sense at booth number 15 in the Downtown Plaza. It only makes sense to shop at Make Sense.
Looking for quality and affordable fashion? The It Store, where you can shop fashion for less. We have clothing for the entire family and quality that fits your budget. The #1 store in town. Fine kids, men, and women apparel for all occasions. We are located at the #1 Queen Street, Belize City. Call us at 223-1552. Remember to like us on Facebook. The It Store. Find it, love it, buy it for less.
shows that the best time is always around the table. And when it's great food, it's gotta come from the best. Quality poultry products. That's the wheat chicken.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of Morning Matters right here at Marley Sharp's Fine Food in the southern part of this country. Mrs. Sharp, you know, when I sit here, I have learned so much about you. But I have to ask you, it seemed, before I ask you, I have to say, it seemed that you have always had an inner engine that kept you going. You were always looking for something else or something greater than existed right in front of your face. What do you attribute that to, your go-getting spirit?
I think that is something that I was born with. My dad was a similar person. My dad was, he had a store, but he wasn't satisfied with that. He started making soap. He made laundry soap, you remember? You know you wouldn't because you're too young, but we had a factory in Belize that used to make soap in bars, big bars. And then it was cut up, like you want a piece of 10 cents, you get a 10 cents piece.
Like when they sell cheese now,
Yes, yes, exactly. And they used to call it blue soap because it used to be blue, so that when you're washing your white clothes, the blue is in there already.
Lovely.
So my dad made soap. My dad made these candies, he made sweets. I think my father invented stretch me guts. My father invented stretch me guts by chance. And this, I'm talking like this now. We were still living in Belize and I was like about 4 years old when my dad started making stretch me guts. And the children used to buy it. His store used to be right on the curve when you're going up to the barracks. When you're going up to the barracks. Freetown and the road that goes up to the sea. Yes. Right at the corner there. My father's store was right there. And then you had Ebenezer School right by the clock.
Yes.
Ebenezer School used to be. So you find the children used to come and buy it, and they one bite one piece and the next one, and they start stretching it, you know. And to them it was fun. He did stretch me guts, he did juju, he did marshmallows, he did all kind of candies he used to do. He did actually tan his own leather, get the cow skins and clean it and tan it and make football. He did, in those days, the soccer ball used to be a case, and then you put a tube in it and blow it up.
Okay.
He used to sew those balls by hand, and he used to do the whole work from the leather right up. And all those balls he used to sell to Jerry Sharp's father, who used to have the football team, what they used to call the football team that used to win up all the prize in the country. And
I can't help you with that.
Yeah. you see, you're too young. You're
That's
too
why
young.
I have to come here to get these stories. And every so often you start to incorporate new products into the market. What are some of these products that you have here? This one is the green mango chutney. Tell us a little bit about that.
The green mango chutney is what you use to, it goes well with curry. When you eating curry.
Oh yeah?
That goes well with curry. Then you have all the jams and jellies. You have the pepper jellies. The pepper jellies go well with turkey.
Okay.
Instead of cranberry, you put some of this, you not touch cranberry anymore.
Well, that I need to take home. Let me see, because if this will take me off cranberry, I'm all about it. Well, I tell you what, if you come into my house for Christmas, this is what you're eating, okay? We're not having any cranberry, we're having this. Can you find it in the stores?
Yes, and for a snack, you can have it with crackers and cream cheese.
You hear that? Look for it on shelves.
And then that, you know, we have all the jams.
And you have a new line where it comes, you have this garlic pepper.
Yes, we have the garlic pepper, and then we have the mango. Then we have the smoke, you know,
Yes.
the smoke ones.
I know the smoke ones.
Yes.
I'm familiar with almost all of them. What is next for Marisha?
Well, I'm doing right now the pineapple pepper sauce, and that pineapple pepper sauce is going. The proceeds of that is going to go towards violence against women. So all the proceeds is going to go to the Haven House in Belize.
What made you come up with such an amazing idea, or cause to support?
Actually, somebody from the U.S. Embassy that works with groups she was the one who came and said, you know, what can you do to help, you know? And then I decided to come up with the pineapple Nutella.
When will this be launched?
It's going to be launched in January.
So in January, people can look for the sauce
Yes.
on the shelves.
Yes.
And the proceeds from it will go to help battered women.
Battered women. So it's going to go to the Haven House in Belize City.
Excellent, excellent. You know, Morning Matters is winding down, but I can't leave without me asking you these last 3 questions. What is your proudest moment?
What is my
Proudest moment?
My proudest moment? You know, when I go out in the community and I meet women that, you know, Miss Marie, you know, because of you, my children are in high school, that really touches my heart. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel like cry, you know, because from the inception of Marie Sharp's Fine Foods, one of my goals has always been to give employment to women. Because you find that the women around here have nothing to do, they're just housewives, you know, stay at home and have children, and most of the time they live very poor, you know. The husbands don't, if they come home and give them something, they're lucky. You know, so I wanted to alleviate that, make them income earners, you know, so they could be proud of themselves. So, you know, they're taking home some money, they could do something for themselves. My dream is, well, you know, that when whoever takes over from me will continue to have the company still growing and still going. So that is one of my wishes, is for my children who are working with me right now, and to maintain and keep the company going with the same ideals that I want employment for women.
Before you leave, if there's somebody out there that is thinking they can't, what would you say to them to tell them that they can?
I don't believe in the word can't. Everybody can, and they can do it. It's just you have to make yourself, you know, believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, and, you know, you just can't sit back and say, I can't. Of course you can. There is nothing that's by the name of can't. I always tell people, you know, I am a humble person. If tomorrow I find myself out on the street, I'm not going to die, you know, because me could make Creole bread, me could bake bread, I could sew, I could do anything.
You will live.
Yes, so I will live, I won't die. You know, so I'm not afraid to say, well, you know, something happens and I go bankrupt or whatever, so on, because as long as I have life in me, I know I'm dead.
Amen. I like that. Thank you for sharing with us this morning. Guys, until next time, we encourage you to take care of yourselves and each other. This is Rhonda Crichton along with
Marie Sharp.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
When you think of top brands in perfumes, with the widest variety, you must stop in at Makes Sense at booth number 15 in the Downtown Plaza. It only makes sense to shop at Makes Sense. When you want refreshing and tasty, it can only be at Coral Bubbles, a perfect place to enjoy milkshakes in many flavors. Coral Bubbles, a variety of teas, hot or cold. Again, Coral Bubbles. Visit us today on the 2nd floor in Downtown Plaza overlooking Albert Street.
Maya's Electronics is Belize's #1 electronics store, offering the widest assortment of electronic gear in home audio, car audio, and especially pro audio. That is speakers, microphones, amps, cables, and adapters for home and professional stage use, as well as musical instruments and accessories. Maya's Electronics also carries a wide assortment of computer and networking accessories, including the absolute lowest prices in USB and SD memory. And don't forget that Maya's Electronics is the source for the lowest priced TVs in Belize. Maya's Electronics is located at number 36 Queen Street in Belize City, across from the police station. And their mini branch is located at the back of the downtown plaza, across from MexSense.
Of all the colors in the world, orange is perhaps the most exciting, distinctive, and vibrant color there is. Just like the Orange Gallery. But what makes the Orange Gallery outstanding is what's inside. A huge collection of breathtaking wood carvings and a spectacular display of home decor accessories and magnificent gift items. Browse a fabulous selection of furniture, from chairs to entertainment centers. And wait till you see the Orange Gallery's breathtaking selection of jewelry for every occasion and every person, from casual to dressy bracelets and earrings to great items for men, including a spectacular choice of handmade knives. Then, when you've shopped till you're ready to drop in to the Orange Gallery's fabulous restaurant and recharge for the rest of your orange expedition. The Orange Gallery. Beautiful, unique, exquisite.
Have an idea for the building of a structure and not sure exactly what you want or how to go about achieving it? Then worry no more. Let the pros at Remen Associates get it done for you. At Remen Associates, we have trained professionals that can assist you in the designing, engineering, and construction of the building of your choice. At Remen Associates, we bring your ideas to life. Call Remen Associates at 615-6200 or visit them at 3/4 miles on the Iguana Creek Road in the Spanish Lookout. Everybody knows that Christmas is a time for shopping and gift giving. At the dollar store, we have just the gift for you. Our gift to each of you is a second toy free. So if you buy a doll, you can get a second doll free or a toy for the same value. Hurry, as this deal you don't want to miss. We have a huge variety of incredible toys for every child in your family. Fashionable dolls, trucks, cars, play sets, baby rattles, basketball hoops, and not to mention decoration and wrapping papers. Hurry on over to the dollar store and pick up your free toy today. Dollar store is located on the 2nd floor of Downtown Plaza, 27 Albert Street in Belize City.
Hello and welcome to A&R.
With a wide variety of household items, party supplies, and gift ideas to choose from, A&R is definitely the shopping spot of choice for you. We have loads of kitchen appliances such as freezers, washers, refrigerators, pots, pans, and other items including stationery, school bags, swimming pools, sturdy plastic chairs, and toys for boys and girls. Check out A&R at any of our many locations in San Pedro, Orange Walk, Cayo, and Belize City. At A&R, we strive to provide all your shopping needs under one roof.
When you think of top brands in perfumes, with the widest variety, you must stop in at MexSense at booth number 15 in the Downtown Plaza. It only makes sense to shop at MexSense.
Looking for quality and affordable fashion? The It Store, where you can shop fashion for less. We have clothing for the entire family and quality that fits your budget. The #1 store in town. Fine kids, men, and women apparel for all occasions. We are located at the #1 Queen Street, Belize City. Call us at 223-1552. Remember to like us on Facebook. The It Store. Find it, love it, buy it for less.
knows that the best time is always around the table. And when it's great food, it's gotta come from the best. Quality poultry products. That's the wheat chicken.